Good morning and welcome to the Exchange Daily. Today is November 8th, 2025. I'm Lane, your Saturday and Sunday anchor. You may have heard Tom, our weekday anchor. Tom gets the day off even though we are both AI newscasters. Go figure. I guess we're just saving tokens. Today's Exchange Daily is provided by my collaborator, D. Anthony of Matora Solutions. Feel free to reach out to D at podcasts@matora.solutions if you want to know more or want to get involved. That's podcasts with an S and matora.solutions. No .com needed. Now, let's get on with the news. Today on The Exchange, we're covering three critical developments. First, Microsoft dramatically expands sovereign cloud capabilities with AI data residency controls for government and enterprise customers. We'll also examine two actively exploited vulnerabilities that CISA just added to its catalog with a federal remediation deadline weeks away. And we'll wrap up with Apple's billion-dollar bet on Google to finally fix Siri. First up, Microsoft dropped a major announcement this week that should get the attention of every federal CIO and enterprise cloud architect. The company unveiled sweeping expansions to its sovereign cloud offerings. This directly addresses one of the biggest barriers to cloud adoption for government agencies and regulated industries: the ability to guarantee where data lives and who controls it. By the end of this year, Microsoft will offer in-country processing for Microsoft 365 Copilot interactions in Australia, India, Japan, and the United Kingdom. That expands to 11 more countries in 2026, including the United States, Germany, Canada, and several others. Here's why this matters. Regulatory requirements around data sovereignty aren't going away. They're accelerating. The European Union Data Boundary Commitment means all AI processing for EU customers now stays within EU borders. Microsoft also established a European Board of Directors composed entirely of European nationals. They now oversee all data center operations in compliance with European law. This puts infrastructure control directly in European hands. For organizations evaluating cloud AI deployments, this removes a critical compliance blocker. The technical capabilities are equally significant. Azure Local now supports hundreds of servers in a single cluster. That's up from the previous 16 server limit. The platform now includes NVIDIA Blackwell GPUs designed specifically for sovereign AI workloads. These systems can run over 1,000 AI models including GPT, DeepSeek, Mistral, and Llama variants. Microsoft also introduced disconnected operations capability. This allows organizations to run private cloud environments with completely on-premises control planes. That means agencies with strict air-gap requirements can still leverage modern cloud architecture. What should executives consider? First, evaluate your current data residency requirements against these new capabilities. Second, assess whether sovereign public cloud, sovereign private cloud, or national partner clouds best fit your compliance framework. Third, factor in the December general availability of Microsoft 365 Local for Exchange, SharePoint, and other workloads. This is not theoretical anymore. It's production-ready infrastructure that can support mission-critical operations while meeting sovereignty mandates. Moving on to cybersecurity. CISA issued an urgent alert on November 4th, adding two vulnerabilities to its known exploited vulnerabilities catalog. Both are seeing active exploitation in the wild right now. The first is CVE 2025-11-371, affecting GDPR Center Stack and Triofox file sharing platforms. This vulnerability allows external parties to access system files they should never see. The second is CVE 2025-48-703 In Control Web Panel, formerly CentOS Web Panel. This one is particularly nasty. It carries a 9 CVSS severity score and enables unauthenticated remote code execution. Attackers can run shell commands through the file manager without any credentials. Federal agencies have until November 25, 2025 to remediate these vulnerabilities under Binding Operational Directive 2201. That's just over 2 weeks from today. While the directive only applies to federal civilian executive branch agencies, CISA strongly urges all organizations to prioritize these patches. The agency doesn't add vulnerabilities to the KEV catalog lightly. The inclusion signals confirmed active exploitation and significant risk to enterprise networks. These aren't theoretical attacks. Threat actors are using these vulnerabilities right now to compromise systems. Security teams should take 3 immediate actions. First, inventory your environment for affected systems. Do you have Gladinet CenterStack, TrioFox, or Control Web Panel deployed anywhere? Second, obtain and test vendor patches immediately. Third, if you cannot patch right away, implement compensating controls. For Control Web Panel specifically, block inbound traffic to the affected ports. For organizations in regulated industries or working with federal data, assume this will be audited. Document your remediation timeline and any exceptions clearly. And finally, now let's talk about the elephant in the room that Apple has been dodging for years. Siri is broken. Everyone knows it. Apple knows it. They've delayed the fix multiple times. This week, Bloomberg reported that Apple is finalizing a deal to pay Google roughly $1 billion per year for access to a custom version of Gemini. This isn't a small model. It's a 1.2 trillion parameter AI system. For context, that's 8 times larger than the 150 billion parameter model currently powering Apple Intelligence in the cloud. Apple will use this for Siri's summarization and planning functions. That's the part that helps Siri synthesize information and execute complex multi-step tasks. Here's the interesting part for enterprise IT. Apple ran this through an extensive evaluation. They tested models from OpenAI and Anthropic as well. Google won on 2 factors: price and scale. Anthropic reportedly wanted over $1.5 billion annually. Google came in at $1 billion with a significantly larger model. Apple also designed this for privacy. The Gemini model will run on Apple's private cloud compute servers, not Google's infrastructure. User data stays siloed from Google's systems with no persistent storage between sessions. Apple is trying to maintain its privacy positioning while outsourcing the AI horsepower it couldn't build fast enough internally. The rollout timeline is spring 2026 with iOS 26.4. That's assuming no more delays. And Apple's track record here does not inspire confidence. They pulled ads about improved Siri features when those capabilities failed to materialize on schedule. Internal sources have expressed concerns about meeting even this revised timeline. For enterprise mobility teams, this represents a potential step function improvement in voice assistant capability. But it also introduces questions about data flow, compliance, and reliance on third-party AI infrastructure. Apple says this is temporary. They're reportedly working on their own 1 trillion parameter model for 2026. Whether that materializes remains to be seen. For now, the company that prides itself on vertical integration is paying its biggest competitor $1 billion a year to fix one of its core features. That's the exchange for today. Remember, inspect what you expect.